4 minutes late. We're just going to get started in 1 minute. Robert, you've got your Newswire open, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. Guys, let me know you can hear us okay. And let's take these questions out of here so I can see what's happening. Yeah, okay. Everybody can hear us. All right, what I want to do is, before we get into this, we want to prove to you that these statistics, these views that we've been showing on the website is not sort of false anything, okay? So what I want to do is, Robert, let's switch over to your screen before we get really started, just so that people are invested in this from the beginning, as far as willing to put the time in to learn this kind of stuff properly. So I really want them to see some real screenshots inside your Newswire account. And we don't have to be using Newswire, guys. We've been doing some case studies and stuff. We'll cover that a little bit later. But Robert, if we can switch screens and put it onto your Newswire, and let's take a look through there and see what the view statistics are for some of those press releases that we were showing the screenshots for during the build-up to these webinars.
Okay, Tony, I'm ready.
Yeah, you need to... Oh, let me see if I can switch it over for you. Okay. See, screen. I think you need to do it from your side. I'm not quite sure how it's done. Can you see where my screen is here? You see this button here?
Yeah.
If you click on that where it says screen, it should give you an option now for you to go over to yours. I really want to cover that at the beginning. You've got some static background there as well.
You have to give me presenter status, I think, or...
I thought you were logged in as me as well.
I click on show my screen, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So we got... This one must be me, so this one must be you. Oh boy, we should have done this before. Okay, well, it's got both as organizer and it's got one as presenter, so I'm just going to see if I can make this organizer. All right. I think we're going to have to... Because you're logged in as me, you're logged in at the same time as me. Guys, I apologize, I'm really sorry, I'm just trying to sort this out.
Okay, can everybody... I just changed... presenter since I'm an organizer, and I have clicked on the button show my screen, so we'll see.
So you should have another pop-up there, Robert, and if you can show your screen, it should have a pop-up saying share my screen. There we go.
Can everybody see my screen? Keith says yes, yes. Okay, everybody can see my screen. That's good. I'm on the home page of Newswire here, and this is where they list the articles that are most recently published. And I'm going to go to the statistics section since I'm logged in now. Okay, my articles. And everybody can see my screen. You can see the views I've been getting. Some of them have, this one I did for... let's see, 903 views. That was done several months ago. So that's very low. Another one I did, interview with Todd Gross, that's about 2,000 views. This one I did with Holly Cooper did really well. I'm over 710,000 views now. A lot of the ones I did for Tony pertaining to YouTube SEO are between 7,000 views or more. I've done some other articles. I did this for a radio station in Oregon, in a town where I used to live. They've doubled their viewership, over 130,000 views for that one. These are impressive statistics. These are this is considered a successful press release to get 4,000 views. Now I've done others which got much have got a lot more views. This one here is over 9,000 now. I did for the primary keyword was YouTube SEO. A lot of people interested in YouTube SEO. So you get the idea. Here's another one for that radio station, 6,000 views, of what press releases can do. People work for months, maybe 6 months, to get a site on page 1 of Google if they're successful, and lucky to get 200 views a day. So 10,000 views on the average, or even 5,000 views, is very successful. That would take a normal website over a year to produce that kind of traffic. So here you can see in real time what's going on with press releases, and they rank immediately, everybody, immediately, within minutes. Once they're published for your primary keywords, it's very likely, if you're not in a highly competitive niche like weight loss, that you will be on page 1. So turning it back over to you, Tony.
Yeah, okay. Right, so let me just go to the screen again. Change presenter. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen. No, just put this one back in. Yeah, okay. Right, now first of all, guys, I think this is going to be 3 webinars. I don't think we can do this in 2 webinars. The other thing I want to tell you is we are not trying to upsell you into any newswire or any press release service in this webinar today. Okay, this is really for training, because what happened was I got talking to Robert during the week. We were talking about the press release thing as well, and we were talking about the statistics from our affiliate links that we had with Newswire. Now, when we did the webinar with Michael Taggart, and I thought it was a great webinar, it's a fantastic webinar. He ranked just someone random from the audience within about 5-10 minutes or something like that. We had, I think it was about 40 people in the end who took up the Newswire offer, and we noticed it going down. So we were talking about this, and I said to him, I think 2 of the problems is they're finding it hard to write the press releases, and second thing is they're finding them hard to get approved, and so people just get fed up and they move along. So they just move on to the next thing because they understand it works, but it's just proving too difficult. So that was the purpose of us putting together this webinar series, but I don't think we can do it in 2 webinars. I think it really needs to be 3 because we want to break it down. Now, what we're doing at the moment, we are doing some case studies. We're working with 3 different networks right now, and we're doing some case studies, and we're trying to figure out what makes one better than the other. But right now, there's a clear leader, and it is not Newswire. Okay, I can tell you right now, it is not Newswire. Okay, we're seeing fast rankings, but what we cannot see from all of them is how many views they get, because what Robert just showed you there was when he publishes a press release, it goes on to a sort of blog or a site belonging to PR Newswire, and that's where all those views come into. Okay, the other 2 services don't have that yet. At least one of them doesn't have it yet. Okay, so it's hard for us to tell the views, but we can tell the SEO. Okay, and we can probably tell the traffic as well, just with analytics and stuff. But so we're going to cover those kind of things over the next 2 weeks as well. Okay, so there will be 3 webinars. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. Now, part of the conversation I had with Robert was what was making that particular press release, the one that Holly, for Holly's course, what was making it so successful? The first thing that really stood to mind was, Robert, can you send me a link for that one actually, so I can just get it up on the screen? If you can just send a link in the chat box here, and I can open it up, so when I'm talking about it, I can break down the elements of it. We kind of covered this in the sort of pre-webinar page, but I just want to go over it again because I know a lot of people won't have watched that particular video because it was like 20 minutes or something. The first thing that struck me with that was the headline, okay? And the second thing that struck me was the fact that it's an SEO article, which really surprised me. An SEO article would get so many views. And it just shows you how busy our little niche really is, okay? So if you look at the headline here, YouTube SEO secret stuns internet marketing experts, it's creating a lot of curiosity in there, okay? And, you know, that would be the first thing to get the click-through. the absolute first thing to get the click through. Now what we did do is we used this little Chrome extension here, and you can see the amount of shares it's got as well over here on the right hand side. From Facebook it's got 2,718 shares, 74 Google shares, 11 LinkedIn. Surprisingly, it hasn't got any Twitter, but it's got 31 Stumble. Okay, so it's got quite significant social signals as well, which again probably can account for a lot of the traffic as well, especially from Facebook and from Google+. Okay, because a lot of people, when they're sharing that, there's probably a bunch of people with a lot of followers on those particular networks. Okay. The other thing that really strikes me about looking at this is look how short this press release is. It's just short, very easy, digestible pieces of content to sort of consume, if you like, and it's basically short paragraphs with a video. Now, the thing about the video, this is a Google Hangout. This is the interview that I did with Holly, the first one, that basically kicked off a big buzz about what Holly was doing. And she's gone on to do really, really well with that particular product, and I'm glad she got it out because there was a huge demand for it after we did that particular interview. And I think there's a combination here of the Hangouts and the ranking of the Hangouts as well. If you're combining that with the press release and the power of Newswire, because it is still a very, very powerful platform, even if we found one that we think is more powerful. This one has been around for a long, long time. It's got authority. It's got a great network of sites, and it still does very, very well. And this view count is from Newswire itself. Okay, so you can see it's very, very short. It's you know, that would take probably, I think you said 30 minutes, Robert, to create this one.
That's right. It took me about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so 30 minutes. What we've got now is a way that we can do it even faster, okay? And I did this literally about 15 minutes before we came onto this webinar. I had done something using this template here, okay? So I asked Robert to give me a template to work with, and basically this is what it looks like. And what you have to do, we'll give you the share for this in a second. What you have to do is basically you just put it into the text area here. So what you will get is just a TXT file. Just copy and paste everything from here. Go over to your text area and paste it in here. Then when you go to the visual, you've got this, okay? And it's basically like just lined up everything you need to do, okay? So I did this, and this took me absolute maximum 10 minutes, okay? Absolute maximum 10 minutes. Now if I go and look at that on the actual site, once I've published it, you can see the elements of it. So we got an image, we got just 4 little paragraphs. It doesn't have to be an epic, okay? That's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand about these press releases. What it should be is giving them a reason to go through and to get more information, okay? So what I do with these, and what we're going to sort of put into this system, the sort of press release blueprint system, is that when we publish, we do it first in our own site, but what we do is we choose this here, no index but do follow, okay? No index, do follow. That way you can sort of play around with it. You can get the formatting and everything the way you want it, and then you can just swipe that, put it over to whatever press release service you're going to use, and it's already kind of done there, and you've done it all within a system that you're very familiar with, okay? So that's the first sort of hiccup out of the way. There's a lot of people just find working with new systems is a little bit daunting, and it actually puts them off doing stuff. So this way I'm trying to think of how we can do it in a way that it's familiar for people so that they actually go and take action, okay? So by the time we've done this press release, it's very, very simple. I mean, that's not even, you know, a big article there. That really did take me no more than 10 minutes, okay? The next thing that we wanted to show you was this over here. Now what I've done is I've created what I've called a planner. I haven't filled it out. I've deliberately left it blank for you, and we'll cover the elements of this sort of section over here, some today and some next week probably. And what I've done here is try to make a planner so that we can just very, very easily put together a campaign And a little bit like when we were doing the PBN stuff, what we were doing is basically planning it all out. So we put in the title. For example, if you're going to do a press release campaign for something, if it's an affiliate marketing campaign, or if it's for your own products, or if it's for an affiliate marketing or CPA, whatever it might be, you can put it in here, so you can just put your titles and stuff. And the same principle applies. What we did with the PBN stuff, go over to places like BuzzSumo. If you didn't see it, let me just show you that very, very quickly. Oh, let me get my typos wrong. Go to BuzzSumo, and basically what we can do in here is we can type in any keyword. So if I put in here, I think the example I used before was content marketing. Let's just go in there, so I can show you quickly what I'm talking about. What this does is it gives us the highest social shared posts around the internet, okay? And you can see here what is really, really popular. So this can give you some great ideas for articles, okay? And for article titles and things like that you can put together for a press release. So for example, how to come up with 50 topic ideas in 30 minutes. How do we make that into a news story, okay? What we can do is, you know, such and such website or company or consultant or marketer or whatever creates 30 templates for fast content creation, something like that. You just have to turn it into a news story, okay? You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to think that it really needs to be something like the BBC type of news. I've seen news stories that, you know, sometimes I'm thinking, is that really news? But if it's going to get accepted into these networks, then that's all we really care about. Just come up with something that you're talking in the third party, and when you're doing that with this content, it really, really becomes very, very simple. If you can just get one paragraph with some quotes in it, and one paragraph that's an introduction, and as Robert says in his little section over here, you've just got to cover the who, why, what, and where, okay? And that's how I did for this. I just followed his template, the who, why, what, and where. So the who's Publicity Club of London. This is one of my PBN sites, okay? The why, okay, so we did some case studies. And then I put in here some quotes that took up a whole paragraph. And the where basically is come and do a live event, which I'm going to send them to replays of this particular webinar series that we're doing now, okay? So anyway, let's go over to the slide, and I'll share this slide with you. Let's just get the right link for this. I'm going to put this into the chat box, and you can access from there this press release planner, and you will watch us build this out over the next 2 weeks as well, okay? So you can sort of follow along with us. But we wanted to cover some of the basics today, which is why I think we need to do the 3 webinars anyway. Let's put this into the chat box. So this is the slide that I've got here, and this has a bunch of links on it, and I'm going to cover what that is. Now, one of the big things that came up when I spoke to Robert, as I was saying, how many people did you get on your email list from that 700,000? You know, what was the marketing behind it apart from sending them straight to sales page? And we found out that, you know, it was just basically direct to the sales page, which is a big, big shame, you know, because a lot of people interested in something like SEO you don't always have to get them to opt in. One thing that we can do, and very, very simple to do, is to put a retargeting pixel onto the page that you're sending them to, which makes it even more powerful, okay? Because even if you're not using sort of retargeting and Facebook ads or AdWords, etc. right now, I can tell you it's not that expensive. I've got a couple of campaigns that I started this morning. I've already started to see some clicks coming through, and they're basically costing me about 7 cents each. Okay, so how we can do all this, I'm going to cover in just a second, and we will sort of take it from there. Okay, let me just find my page over here. Okay, now what I do is I install this plugin called WP Header Footer. Okay, I put that onto the site. Now, the best way to send traffic to anywhere is always to have an element of people opting in. You can do that via a squeeze page, or you can do it kind of like we did with the press release post that we did, which was basically almost like an article, but it's got the kind of headline in here, and at the bottom we're giving people a reason to opt in. Okay, now what you will see with the elements of this is when you click on it, it goes to what we call a lead box. This is from Lead Pages. Now Lead Pages is a little bit expensive, but I found another one. I spent a couple hours last night and I found another one that's about half the price, and it does more or less exactly the same as Lead Pages does. So you can send them to something like this, which I'm kind of playing around with this format right now. I kind of like it. Or you can just do a simple squeeze page, okay? Either way will work. Now what we need to do is go over to a site called AdRoll. Create an account in there. And when you go over to AdRoll, it will ask you to create a profile. And when you create a profile, you get a page like this. You just put in basically the name of your site and put in the URL of your site, so that it's very, very easy to track. And all we have to do is click on here and copy here. It will give you this pixel. And with this pixel, we can go over to here, and where it says the footer area here, we're just going to paste it in and click on save, and that goes site-wide. Anybody who visits that site is now got a retargeting pixel. It means if I want to do an advert, I can follow them around the web. Okay, and that's the first thing we can do for the marketing side of things. The second thing is to do something similar to a lead box. So if we go over to this post that I did over here, here we are. You can see here, got our 4 paragraphs, and we got 1 link, and we've got a video at the bottom as well. So, and when they go to the video, if they go to the video on YouTube, for example, there's another link that will take them back to another page with this particular link. So if they're going to click on that, that lead box pops up automatically, and it gets people opting in. Okay, so we've got our marketing elements to take care of first, and it's not that hard to do. Really, really, really simple. As far as the let's go back to where I was. I think I've cut myself out of that page, haven't I? Okay, as far as AdRoll is concerned, it really is as simple as that. You just take that pixel, and they will give you 2 weeks trial as well if you want to try it. What I did is I sat it on my site, and I went back and looked, and you know, I had something like 2,000 people. When we started to do promotions for the blog network, webinars, and then this webinar, that increased dramatically as well. So those are people I can go and retarget, whether I want to do it on Facebook, on AdWords, or whatever. And the good thing about AdRoll is they control your campaign for you. They manage it all for you. Okay, what they're doing is from the retargeting, they're maximizing cost per thousand, and they do all the optimization. All you have to do is basically put an ad in there, and it becomes really, really quickly. So we're going to cover that a little bit next week, how to create an ad with retargeting, so that you can get the gist of how that is done. But the first thing that you should do is add that little plugin, and I put a link in the slide. You can see here, WordPress plugin. I gave you a Dropbox link, and I gave you the WordPress repository link. Okay, I've given you the AdRoll account. There's no affiliate link there at all either for AdRoll. And basically, you can just get that in there. Now, the next thing we want to do...
Tony, can I butt in for a minute?
Yeah.
The link that you posted for Google Docs is telling people they need to request access to it.
Okay.
They're not able to access that link.
I do that every week, you know that? I actually do that every week. It's one of the first things I should make sure. There's the link again, guys. My apologies. All right. So there's the link, okay? And you can open this up, share it with everybody. What you will find in here is we've got various slides in here. We're focusing on the second slide right now, okay? The first slide, I'll cover some elements of this in a few minutes, because we sort of jumped straight in here. Okay, so you've got a link for AdRoll, and you've got a link for the WordPress plugin. That's the first 2 things you want to do. Now, to make things even better, and to make things, take it a lot further, is you can use this tool called Social Spy Agent. Okay, there's an affiliate link there. This is a really, really good tool. I like this one. What it allows you to do is to create a URL that they will give you with a pixel on it, okay? So if somebody just clicks on that URL, whether it's on from a description in YouTube or whether it's from Facebook or anywhere on the web, they're automatically pixeled, okay? So you don't even need to worry about them going over to your site, because as soon as they click on it, that's it, okay? So you could even send them to a link to a video, for example. You could have that retargeting pixel, I think, in there. Okay, so let's have a look at what that looks like. This is lead pages. This is how I do the lead boxes. I'm not going to cover that today. I'll just get rid of this. Just see social spy if I can find it.
Tony, that link is still asking people to request access.
Really?
Yes.
I thought we did that. Okay. Anyone with link. Okay, I did it wrong. I told you I was slow this morning. Okay, there you go. There's your link. Okay, let me know if you can't do it, and we'll go fight it one more time. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming in now. I see that. Right, okay, so what we do is we're going to look at Social Spy Agent. This, I think, costs about $47. So really, really, really useful tool. Okay, and I'll show you how simple it is to use. We go over here to where it says Retarget Engine. Okay, we can put in an audience name, so I'm going to put in here Publicity London after the website. And we're going to take a retargeting URL, and it's going to be this particular URL here. And we're going to put it in here as a retargeting URL. Okay, now I need to put in a pixel in here, so I go back over to AdRow, copy my pixel, come over here, put this into AdRow, and click on the save. Okay, I'm going to go back because down the bottom here, you got some cloaking domains that you can use. This one is Click Me for discounts. I don't want to use that one. Let's see if I can find something better. Click for details. Yeah, click for details. That one's better. Okay, all I have to do is copy that link. Now, if I put that link anywhere on the internet, those people are immediately pixeled to go into retargeting. Okay, so I can put that basically Facebook, into YouTube descriptions, into press releases, anywhere I want, okay? And that means if they click on it, they are automatically getting pixeled from that as well, okay? So that just makes things a little bit simple and makes it easy. So for example, if I'm doing a bunch of Web 2.0, syndication, bookmarks or whatever, if somebody clicks on it, they're getting pixeled, okay? And that gives me that option to be able to market to them later. Now, if you look at how much time it took me from adding the pixel from AdRow into the website and then doing this, I mean, it's less than 5 minutes once you know what you're doing. It's really, really, really fast. Whether you're doing PPC or not right now, just get it in there and you've always got that option later for any of your sites, okay? Especially if you're doing it for clients, because you can get clients to pay for the ads anyway. But the good thing about AdRow, as I mentioned before, is they do all the optimization for you. It's really, really simple, okay? And you can try it out there. You get a couple of weeks free with them, and you can just build that. So that it's kind of like list building, but with pixels, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you can just build it up. Okay, so let's come back over to the slide. So that's the retargeting elements done, and that's basically takes about 5 minutes to do. If you think about this press release here, the one I did, say for example that took me 15 minutes, that's 20 minutes done for a press release campaign. That would be far, far more effective than what Robert did for those 700,000 views. We would get far more value out of it immediately. Even if only 10% of those people click through, or 5%, you're talking about, 70,000 or 35,000 people, okay? If you look at the sort of lesser volumes that he's got there, like 4,000, that is still, significant traffic. You're talking about, 10% click through, then that's 4,000. Sorry, yeah, if it's 4,000, then you're still getting 400 people in that sort of retargeting pixel. But 4,000, I think we can get much, much higher once we've got into sort of webinar free here when we're in this series, when we've covered some of the stuff that we're going to be doing with RSS and indexing and things like that as well. Okay, so we'll cover that a little bit later. Right, let's go back over to the slide. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm opting in with the lead boxes as well. Okay, with the lead boxes I can also use that particular link that I use for the social spy agent, the one I got over here. Okay, that's very, very easy to do. You just put that in instead of the sort of basic URL. And another thing I want to show you as well for your websites, just to make sure that they're sort of optimized as far as the marketing side, is a little plugin that's absolutely free, and it's really good plugin, absolutely really good plugin, costs nothing. Probably a bunch of you have heard of a plugin called Opt-in Monster. Okay, this does similar things, and it's absolutely free. I think Opt-in Monster costs a lot of money. So over here, what you will see is when you install this one, it's called Sumo Me. It's from the guy who's behind AppSumo, guy called Noah. I watched a video of this guy the other day. He's kind of funny. He swears a lot, but he's got a lot of traffic strategies, really spot on, and he doesn't do any SEO whatsoever. He just doesn't do SEO. He's just got a whole bunch of traffic strategies. It's got nothing to do with SEO. He had a website called mint.com. He had about 200,000 subscribers. He's got another one called AppSumo, and I think they've gone into the millions, etc. So it's not just SEO we're talking about. We can do things with traffic that doesn't always necessarily mean SEO. Now, when you install this plugin, and you will see a little blue bar at the side here, and you basically click on it, and it's going to ask you to opt in. Okay, it's a single opt-in. Once you opt in, there's a little screen here, and once you opt in, you don't have to leave the screen. It doesn't take you to another page to do anything. You've basically got this active, and what you can do is you can click where it says Sumo Store. Okay, now we can see it's got a bunch of tools that we can use. Okay, so if I want to put in here a scroll box, let's click on that. That's installed. Heat maps, that's installed. Let's put in a smart bar. Let's put this one for leads. That one is a trial actually for leads. The image share, if you want to put in sort of sharing thing in your images, you can use that. I'm not going to use that. The list builder we want, and the share we want. Okay, and you can see when I click on the share, we get this little floating sort of bar over here. Okay, so what we can do now, just close this one off, and I'll come back in again. You can see these tools appear. Okay, so what I can do then is I can optimize them. I can just go and do the settings and stuff like that. Now, what this does with some of these, you will have something like Opt-in Monster, where once you've filled in the settings, which I'm not going to do right now because there's no point to watch me configure a plugin on a webinar. Somebody tries to go away from your site, then basically that little pop-up sort of pops up, the one similar to what Opt-in Monster does. And I think that particular plugin from Opt-in Monster is $147. Okay, and they've got really nice templates as well, so it costs nothing. And it's really useful, and you can see here we've got this bar at the top as well. Okay, so all of that kind of stuff, and it's not a heavy plugin. It's not going to slow you down. Okay, what I like to use as well, I'll mention this one as well. It's called Social Media Feather. This one is really good plugin. I did a lot of testing a couple of weeks back about the social sharing plugins, because a lot of them can do a lot of database queries and slow down your site, but this one's really good. And when we click on the Google Plus on this one, it actually takes you to do a Google Plus share, okay, which is really good, and it's very lightweight as well. Okay, so adding those little bits in here together with the retargeting, with the lead box, that gives you you know, pretty much everything we need as far as setup is concerned, so that we can go and publish a press release pretty quickly and know that we're going to maximize any traffic. Okay, so we're taking care of the marketing first, and now we can start thinking about the traffic. And all of this stuff is really quick and easy. There's nothing taking very long time at all. You just need to do your settings for these, but it's actually kind of fun to do as well. The way they've done the plugin is actually very good. Okay, so let's come back over here. A lot of people probably heard of lead pages, which is what I use a lot. Once you use a tool like that and you realize how good it is, you kind of stick to it, and I couldn't imagine life without lead pages right now, but I did do some research, and I found another one. It's called 1 Minute Sites, and this is very, very good. It's about half the price. Okay, it does everything that a premium account in lead pages would do. You can do those lead boxes, and you can do all kinds of stuff, and you've got a whole bunch of really nice templates that you can use as well. Okay, let me see if I can find over here. So you can see example from their own sales page here. This is the kind of stuff that you can do. Okay, they've got a whole bunch of templates for landing pages and all that kind of stuff, and as you come down, and you see it's about $40 a month. I think there was another offer about $29. I'll contact the guy and see if I can get a cheaper offer actually, but I don't know. I can't promise. Basically, it does, you know, exactly the same as what lead pages does. Okay, you can do your lead boxes, squeeze pages, and the good thing about lead pages when I'm in there is that I can click to choose a template. For example, let's just go over there. Let's go to lead pages, and I can reorder them according to what is converting best from all the members. Okay, and that gives you a really, really good idea of what you should be doing or what you should be using as far as templates are concerned. Okay, so if you want to do just a basic squeeze page, you can do that. Okay, so you can see at the top here, we've got templates, we've got lead pages, we've got lead boxes, and we've got lead links. Okay, the lead boxes is what we've been using, but if I go into the templates, you can see over here opt-in pages, webinars and stuff. So if I click on an opt-in page and click here to sort by conversion rate, then it's coming up and telling me this one converts better than any other. Okay, so that can be down to whoever the person is as well. I mean, Clay Collins is very, very popular, so you can just go to the next and the next and the next. What you will find though is the simpler a squeeze page is, the more popular it seems to be. Okay, there's no confusion. It's just very, very quick for people to see. They've got one action to take, and that's why they work so very, very well. Okay, so this link here takes you to the 1 Minute Sites. It does exactly the same. So it's not half price, it's about 2/3 the price of lead pages, but does exactly the same. All right, now, so we've kind of covered the marketing elements so far. Is there any questions coming through right now, Robert?
Got several questions. Neil is asking what the social share plugin's name is that you were using. And if anybody else has any questions, go ahead and please add them to the chat box right now, and we'll sift through them.
It's called Social Media Feather. It's very, very good. It's lightweight, and we went and tested I think 5 or 6 of those plugins because they take a lot of database queries, and we did the research and found this one, and I really like it. I'll use it on every site now. Absolutely. Use it in every site. So you can see basically all this sort of pre-marketing stuff that we put down. There's nothing that takes a long time. Okay, you don't even need to use something like the 1 Minute mini sites. You can actually just use the social spy agent to put that link in there and use that all over the place, whether it's in your press releases, etc. as well. Okay, and that way you built in your marketing. So for example, Robert, if you had those 700,000 views and you had just put those elements into the page you were sending the people to, I would guess you would probably have at least 5,000 people on a retargeting pixel at least, and probably you would have even at 20% of that for people opting in. If you had an offer there, like a sort of pre-sale page before you sent them to a sales page, you would have probably 1,000 people minimum, absolute minimum. That's me being really, really conservative there.
I'm so glad that you're teaching me about these things, Tony. I knew nothing of these things. So I'm successful at writing press releases. Time to move on to what I can do with them.
Yeah, you're kind of doing it the opposite way around. Some people need to learn traffic last, but you've learned traffic first, and it's just those little elements that you need to put in there, and you're basically you're gonna crush it with the press releases. Okay, so anyway, let's jump over to that previous slide that I had in here. This is the slide I was going to use. Okay. Oh yeah, before I go further, guys, if you don't mind, I'm trying to do, I screwed up on the PBM webinars because I'm trying to do a case study of how effective social shares are, specifically Google Plus shares, for being able to get rankings. So if you don't mind, I'm going to put in the chat box the link to the page that you came to this webinar from, the one that you signed up from. If you don't mind to give us some social shares in there, the Google Plus ones, if you can, please. I really, really want to test that particular strategy for Google Plus, because I know that...
I have one more question.
Yeah.
This is from Alan. He would like to know, if you're creating Web 2.0 sites for a mini blog network, can you add retargeting pixels to those Web 2.0 pages?
Yeah, you can, because you can put the link in there, and that link can be one from like Social Spy, for example. If somebody clicks on that link, they're immediately pixeled. Immediately. So you can see the power of it as it starts to build up, by being able to do that. And believe me, it's really, really not expensive for doing retargeting, because it's your own traffic. Okay, you're not getting cold traffic. So what happens then is, when you're using something like AdRoll, what is really happening is you've got really highly targeted people because they've visited your site before. So when you're doing the remarketing to them later, you're going to have a higher click-through rate because they're already familiar with, or you're familiar with what they're interested in. They're familiar with you, okay? And when you're doing a sort of cost per thousand, you will have, the price comes down just because it's highly targeted. The more click-throughs you get, the sort of lower the price comes, so that you can send them to different offers. And that's just how it works. I mean, it's very, very simple to do. I tested, I had a look this morning before I had logged out to create a new account. I actually had to create a new AdRoll account just for the purpose of this webinar. I only had a few clicks, but it was like 7 cents each, which is really cheap. And that's where these guys, when they say on Facebook, etc., to get those penny clicks and stuff like that. I've never seen penny clicks myself, but you know, 7 cents is not that bad. If you can get those people to opt in as well, then it's even better. Okay. So let's go over here. So yeah, guys, if you can give us a share over there. What happened with the PBM webinars is I actually changed the URL halfway through, and I screwed it up. So we had a bunch of social shares that kind of got wasted there. Anyway, so the press release case study in comparison, what we've been doing. Robert, you've tested. I want to mention too, I don't want to mention the third one right now, because I think we might be being a little bit unfair on that one, because I spoke to them this morning and discovered something, so I don't really want to mention them right now. But you compared press cable, and you compared Newswire with press cable. What did you find?
I found that press cable pushed Newswire off of page 1.
Yeah. Did you find any speed and ranking difference between the two?
I had two page 1 rankings for press cable right at the top of the page. Newswire was at the bottom of the page and was pushed off. And when the press cable press release was published, it only took about 5 minutes for those two sites to be on page 1.
Right. Talking about publishing, what did you find for ease of publishing? Have you had any issues with press cable getting anything sent back?
Nothing sent back whatsoever.
And the good thing about press cable,
Newswire was sent back about 5 times the last time.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people actually quit Newswire, which is, you know, it's a shame. But I can understand they've got a very, very high quality control, but at the same time, you just want to work in campaigns where you can, you know, get these things out very, very quickly. If a network like Press Cable is pushing Newswire off the page, then it makes a lot more sense. How many people here have actually got Press Cable? Don't worry, I'm not going to throw an affiliate link at you for it.
I'm not getting any response on my end.
Nobody. It was called something else when it first came out. I think it was called, it's from Chris Munch.
SkyRanker.
SkyRanker, that's it, yeah. How many people got SkyRanker? Because I want to get some feedback from people who have got it.
The problem is it was a limited offer and it's not available anymore.
Okay. From the guys who have got SkyRanker, have you been using it, and have you had anything sent back?
How about you, Thomas? I see you have SkyRanker. Have you had anything sent back?
Nothing. Okay. So there's a major difference there between, the sort of pain to get things done in Newswire and using something like SkyRank. I will talk to Chris, actually. I will talk to Chris maybe later today and see if I can get an offer and put an offer together for SkyRanker. Robert, when you bought it, how much were you paying for it?
It was $297, and in order to continue getting 10 press releases a month, which don't expire, it was another $297 a month.
That's a really important point. Okay, in Newswire, after the month is up, the press releases that you didn't use expire. Yeah.
That's what they all expire.
Yeah,
you
and
lose
with
them if you don't use them.
SkyRanker, they're not expiring. They just carry on.
Right.
Incredible. Okay. So it's got everything, the benefits there. I will talk to Chris Munch today. I'll try and get a hold of him today. And I will see if we can get an offer and put an offer together. Now, you're paying again, what, $297 a month for the 10, yeah?
That's right.
Do they have a lower package?
No, there was nothing lower. And if you don't take that offer when you first sign on, it's about $1,200 for 10 press releases rather than $300.
Yeah, okay. But guys, if it's a 10 release package, you could go half and half with somebody, and you can use 5 each. You just need to have one account where you use 5 each, and that cuts the price in half. And if you're getting $30 a press release for, instant page one rankings without all the pain of doing it, and put together with what we're going to cover next week. I'm going to cover the writing a lot more next week, and we'll cover the planning as well a lot more next week as well. I just wanted to get the basics out of the way first in this one, and we'll cover things like the group keywords optimizing, the on-page optimization, etc. Now, once you've got this done, and once you've got your planning done, this is really fast and easy to do. So say, for example, I've got on here, I'm doing a campaign about press release webinars. I just want to drive traffic for the purpose. My primary goal is to do list building, for example, okay? And I'll get them on a retargeting pixel as well. So that if I do something that's press release related as a product, I've always got it there, but I know that they're all interested in SEO, so that's good. I can put any kind of offer there. That means that, just for the sake of $30, I can get a whole bunch of people. It could be thousands of people that I'm adding every time for $30. That's even cheaper than doing PPC or retargeting itself, you know what I mean? It's just really, really quick and very, very easy. Let's come back over here because I kind of lost my train of thought here. Now, some of the things that we'll be covering in the next week as well. There's a lot of comments coming in here. Len saying press cable was $159. Is that for one press release? That's the prices they've got now, yeah, but what they had was an offer previously before, and it was the prices that Robert mentioned. I will talk to Chris today. I will see if I can get a deal for us. He might be open to it. I know him quite well. He might be open to it. Yeah, they got the editor as well. Let me see, I'll just open this up. Firaz saying they've got the editor. Basically what they've got in there, they've got an automation tool where you just choose what your press release is about. It's got pre-built templates and you just fill in, a few blanks, fill in a few fields, like your company name and stuff like that, and, boom, send it off. But you've got to send them somewhere, guys. You've got to send them somewhere where you've got that marketing built in, okay? But you can use the social spy to get that sort of pixel in there as well, but you want to get them onto into an opt-in list as well, and then we can maximize it. So it's not, say for example you've got one, let's pick a niche, say it was in weight loss. I was talking to Mark Olson before, and Mark Olson's got some kind of press release service as well. He told me that he had a couple of guys, he gave an unlimited offer for his, and he had a couple of guys that were sending over 100 press releases a day, and they were going after things like the berries and the, there's weight loss things, the acai or acai berries, I don't know how to pronounce that, and they were doing about 100 press releases a day, just with for that kind of stuff, and they were doing it for months and months and months, and he ended up, he had to stop them because they were just taking up so much resources. but it must have been working for them to be that consistent and persistent with it, to send that many press releases out. So they do work. So if you're running campaigns like that for those kind of CPA offers, then it makes a lot of sense that you can get those people onto a list, or at least on a retargeting pixel, so that you can, you know, focus other campaigns that you've got for that particular niche as well. So you can move from one kind of berry to the next sort of fad that comes out, as far as losing weight really, really fast, for example, if it was those guys that were doing for that particular niche. And it just gives you that option where you're not just giving all the traffic over to the CPA network or over to a vendor from a product creation, from a product that's just been launched or whatever. And that way you're keeping some kind of control for yourself as well, because it's hard to get the traffic. The hardest part of internet marketing is getting the traffic. And everything we do for internet marketing, if you think about it, whether we're doing PPC, whether we're doing SEO, whether we're doing press releases, it's all to get traffic. Okay, so once you've learned how to get traffic, you've got to maximize that, and you can do those little bits and pieces to do that. Okay, let's see if there's any questions coming in. Thomas, yeah, there's going to be replay. Sorry, Robert.
Where will the replay be posted, Tony?
It's going to be posted on this site. The site I asked you to do the social shares. We'll do it the same kind of format as what we did with the PBN webinar replays. We'll put everything on the same page, and you can find it from the anthonyhayes.me site. Okay, and it's really easy for people to be able to just go back.
Apparently David Triplett has published press releases and they ranked, but he got no traffic. There must be something wrong there, David.
It's going to depend on the keywords, obviously. I mean, what we're going to cover next week, David, is actually creating a press release and putting some on-page optimization. Some of you have seen how we use the Google Keywords Planner to use the group keywords and stuff like that. We're going to go into that a little bit as well. This is interesting. CJ's got a link here. Let me just see what that link is. What happened to that link?
It's actually a live link for a press cable. And they're offering one press release or 3 press releases or 10 press releases.
Is it still the same link as what was there before?
It's a live link.
Let's have a look.
For a press cable. Right?
That is interesting, because you know, if this one is kicking us on with Newswire, then it's very, very interesting. I don't see any buy buttons. Okay. Package 1, 297. I'll need to look at that later. Yeah, it's the same one, look, 297. Guys, that is good value. And you can do the standard as well. Get 3 articles. You would be better to team up with someone and do 5 each instead of taking that standard, I would imagine. And
looks like there's 16 hours left on that offer.
Yeah. That is pretty decent, you know. That would definitely, let's put that link in there as well anyway. So, you know, and the good thing is that you're not going to lose your press releases, your credits. I'll put that link in there. It's not an affiliate link. If CJ, if that was an affiliate link from you, good on you, mate. Right place and right time. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so what we're going to cover next week, I just wanted to cover the marketing basics, and I don't want to keep repeating. So what we'll cover next week, I'll just go into a little bit detail, and over the week after that as well. So next week we're going to cover the on-page optimization. I'm going to show you again another way that we can use the group keywords from Keyword Planner. I'll show you a tool I use to help me to optimize as well, which is why I was able to create that press release this morning really fast. Okay, and then we're going to go into the week 3. We're going to go into doing the SEO side. Robert, when you're doing your press releases right now, what are you doing? What is your backlink strategy from that point forward?
As soon as the press release is published, I submit it to OnlyWire, and I submit it to SendWire, and then I post to several Web 2.0 sites that are not included in those. Right,
okay. What we will do for next week, guys, we're going to have a little plan, okay? So we'll go over to a press release plan, and it's going to look something like this. We're going to have IFTTT set up on your website, on your WordPress. You can do as many IFTTT accounts as you want, Okay, I might have another tool for IFTTT for WordPress coming out next week actually, with an account creator. So you can go and create 200, 500, whatever, if you really want to, but you may need to test it for that purpose. Okay, so we do IFTTT with WordPress, and this is why I wanted to do the press release in here as well. So it's familiar, first of all, and when we put that no index do follow, that makes it, you can publish it anywhere. You can publish it on Newswire. Newswire doesn't like to see the content on any other property, but if you made it no index, they're not going to find it, okay? Very, very simple, okay? So what we can do is we can start off from here. Although it's no index and do follow, it still works really, really well, because what we're doing then is we're getting all that Web 2.0 syndication sent out, and you can do as many as you want with the IFTTT accounts. Okay, and another thing that we noticed as well, I've been doing a lot of stuff with WordPress in the last sort of few weeks. A lot of those plugins that are doing things like the posting to Twitter, posting to Facebook, those take up a lot of resources as well. By using IFTTT, you can get rid of those plugins. You can just get rid of it, okay? But what I'm going to do with this one for next week is I'm going to put STC on there, Social Traffic Commando. And we can do another one called Snap, okay? That's kind of similar to Social Traffic Commando, but whereas we do reshares, they do just plain syndication, okay? So we can have a look at that as well. And then we're going to do things with RSS, and we're going to do things with indexing. We can add in here OnlyWire. What else did you say you were doing, Robert?
Something from, it's called SyndWire. You can go to syndwire.com and look that up. SYNDWIRE.
Okay, that's a little bit similar to Rankwiz and FCS Networker and what my Web 2.0 command is going to be, isn't it? I think so.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Quite a bit cheaper.
Okay. Web 2 Commando, I'm going to put in it. It is cheaper. I think it was about $199, but they don't have an account creator. As far as I understand, did they? Did they have an account creator?
No account creator, no.
Yeah, okay, so that's why Web 2 is going to be even better.
I had to pay $5 to Fiverr to have all my accounts created.
Okay, so how easy was it to excuse me?
I just paid my $5 to Fiverr, and he created those accounts for me.
And to add them to the site, easy or not? Is it one by one or?
It's one by one, but $5 to Fiverr, and you give them your login information, and they'll do it for you.
Okay, that's not too bad actually. But it's $5 a time. It's better to use something like Web 2 Commando, and also Social Traffic Commando. You've got the account creator, and you can just one click and it uploads those accounts into the site and into WordPress as well now, which is really, really cool. Okay, so you've got a whole load of options that we can do for the syndication stuff here. So let's just recap what you were doing, Robert, what you did before. So you did the OnlyWire, you did the SyndWire, you did what else?
Right. Occasionally I use WikiRobot, but I haven't used it for a while because wikis are not as popular anymore with Google. Right,
okay. There's a specific way that I use wikis, and what I do, what was the one Joshua Zamora did, that software, is it WikiRobot or was it something else?
That was WikiRobot, right?
I'll see if I get Audrey to give us a copy of it, a review copy for next week. I'll show you how I use it. I use it in a different way from most people, so that we're getting good links from it, so it's not oversaturated and we can drip feed. It's a very, very good tool actually if you invest, the hour or so it takes to understand how to use it. It's a very, very good tool. The other way you can use that as well is to use IamTalk, imtalk.org, but you need to log in to IamTalk via Firefox if you want to use that. Okay. So, and this one has just been shared, this press release planner. Yeah, in here you're going to see the planner in this slide I gave you initially. You can click through on that. If somebody could just test that and make sure it's being shared, then you can see how this being built up sort of in real time being built up live. Okay. Even on the build up to the webinars, we'll be filling this out so you can get an idea of what we're going to cover. Okay, so those are the things that we can do for the sort of backlinking for press releases. And we'll cover them in more detail. I'll show you some tips and tricks and stuff like that. But next week will be the on-page SEO. So, guys, let's just take some questions and then we'll wrap it up there because we covered everything we wanted to in this one.
Okay, first of all, Lawrence is asking, is Web 2.0 Commando available yet?
No, we're having some problem with the posting. We don't know if it's the proxies or we're really looking into it. I've actually got 2 coders on it right now. It's 99% now. It's just a few sites are refusing to post. Some sites are not taking the video. I don't want to release it until it's ready. What I might do is, if I can get 5 really good blog sites, then if you think about how this was built initially, it used to be called Local Traffic Commando, where it created thousands of blog posts, all targeting long tail, all under one WordPress site, and we were ranking for tons of keywords because nobody else could possibly try and optimize for that many kind of keywords. That was the strategy. Okay, then I thought, okay, let's bring it over to Web 2.0. We're having some problems with that, but even if I get 5 sites, that means we can still do a ton of accounts on those 5 blog sites, and plus we still have our tier 2 sites as well, which are the bookmarking sites like Digo and Delicious, etc., etc. Okay, so even if I get 5 sites and it makes like 50 posts on each of those, then that's 250 posts that can be done. So I might release it like that. I'll just have to wait and see. But right now, it's maybe I could say it would take a week or it will take a day. I wouldn't know, to be honest. When it comes out, it will be good. It will be working. But I'll tell you if there's any limitations, obviously. But until I'm happy with it, I can't release it because it's just going to hammer us in support, which I'm not prepared for. Okay.
Lawrence is asking, what is IFTTP?
What is IFTTT? Lawrence, if you go over to my site, I don't want to cover it in a lot of detail. I'll tell you the basics of it. If you go over to my site, you go over to the homepage, which is anthonyhayes.me. I've done quite a comprehensive blog post on it. And what it is it's a service, a free online service, which basically does syndication of content around the web, okay? And that's put in very, very simple terms. But if you go over to my site, you will see here under tutorials, 3 simple IFTTT SEO strategies, okay? Click on that, watch a couple of videos. After the first video, you'll have a really clear idea. I put in the recipes that you use there as well. They do something called recipes, okay? So for example, if I make a new post on WordPress, I can get IFTTT to set up what they call a recipe, that it will do a data run every 15 minutes. It will take whatever, that article or video, whatever, and it will post it over to, say, where I choose it to post it. It could be Blogger, it could be Digo, it could be Delicious, etc. Those are called recipes. I put all that in there. But within the next week, I know for sure that we're going to have a new IFTTT tool. Okay, it's called WordPress Backlink Commando, and it's going to have the account creator with it. We're going crazy with account creators because there's so much we can do now that we've sort of cracked it. It took us a long time to be able to crack it, but now that we have, we're going to use them to maximum effect. Okay. Anything else?
Do you have a link where the replays will be paged?
We basically put that in there twice. It's twice in the chat box. Here it is one more time. There you go. It's in the chat box there. Okay, so I think that's basically it. Is there any other questions that we need to cover before we go?
No, I don't see that link in the chat box, so it's not.
It's not showing.
Coming on this end.
Okay. Well, the chat box down here. Oh, that's a questions box. That's why. Chat box is here. Here we go. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget to give us some. Don't forget to give us some social shares on that page, guys. I really want to see how Google Plus ranks with this. All right. So we kind of covered a lot of the basics today. Next week we're going to start digging in to this stuff with the optimization for the on-page and writing press releases. And what we will do is we will use a tool that I use to make it really easy to optimize, okay, after we have taken the stuff from Google Keyword Planner. And we can also take, from other sources as well, like lsikeywords.com and stuff like that as well. So we will do that live, and we will plan out this as well, live as well, okay? So we'll pick a campaign, and we'll go and target it. And then the following week, we will go into the backlinking stuff like we got here in a lot of detail. We'll try and do some step-by-step for some of this stuff, okay? And that way you're going to have a really nice blueprint for doing optimized press releases that will rank quickly, that can get you, massive traffic, that you've got your marketing elements built in. And by the time we've done these free webinars, you're going to be pretty good at this. We all are. It's going to be really good. And what I'll do is I will see as well, we're going to test a little bit that third network that we were talking about, and we'll see if we can get a good offer for that one as well and put that together for you. Okay? All right, guys, thanks for your time. I hope you got something good out of this. And if you did, leave us some comments as well if you can, even if it's just to say thanks or whatever. Just want to see some activity on that particular page as well. Okay, Robert, thanks for your time, and I'll see you a bit later. Thanks.
You're welcome, Tony. Good night, everybody.